Howdy, y'alls. My name's Dr. Edwards, but everyone just calls me Dr. E. And I'm your instructor for Environmental Science 203, Human Adaptive Strategies. Now, I gotta tell you, I'm really excited to be teaching this class because I'm an environmental anthropologist. This is the stuff I live for, and I love teaching. So I just wanted to put together a little blurb about who I am, what I've done, kind of some of my past experience to, help you all out, better understand me. I've always found the better that you understand your professors, the better you do in a class. So, hey, it's in your best interest. If you've read my little bio, you can read that, where I've gone to school and yada yada. Um, now, I guess to condense it into a nutshell, I was born the son of a herpetologist and a psychologist. So, go figure, I become an environmental anthropologist. My particular passion is understanding and researching how people use their wildlife resources. But that's kind of a subset within the much larger view of just natural resources in general, these limited things that people use to sustain themselves. Most of my work has been in West Africa. I started there as a Peace Corps volunteer, actually as a natural resource management volunteer. And I was put on the management committee of the largest faunal reserve in Mali, West Africa. It was called the Boffin Faunal Reserve. It's in way western Mali. Now, interestingly, my official job on this management committee was to go tell people what they could, and well, more often than not, what they could not do. I was told to go tell them that they couldn't cut these trees, they can't touch that animal, they can't even look at that flower. I kind of had some issues with that. And I remember at one of my very first committee meetings, I asked, well, has anybody talked to the local communities about what these things mean to them before you just go, you know, curtailing any and all use of these resources? Because fundamental fact, people have been using natural resources since people have existed, right? It's kind of a normal thing. So the committee looked at me like I had grown a third eye and they thought I was absolutely off my rocker. So I spent the next 3 years working with local communities to gain a better understanding about why they use the resources they do. And that's where I really fell into the wildlife use. And you can see some pictures in my little blurb, my bio here, of some of that. I actually ended up, how to put this? I went local. I, um, I spoke two of the local languages and one of the national languages, French. The local languages are called Bamana and Malinke. That's just two of many that they speak in Mali. But those are the two dominant languages where I work in Western Mali. And I started hanging out with traditional hunters and other traditional resource users. And I became friends with many of them, and they started taking me out, and I got to see things that nobody else did. Um, More than that, I came across a really incredible network or system focused on harvesting wildlife to serve two particular markets in the capital. One called the Marabagayoro. That's just fun to say, Marabagayoro. Uh, and that's a traditional medicine market. And the other is called the Artisana, which is a tourist market. And both of these markets use wild animals, as well as domesticated animals, in some form or fashion. You know, some in the tourist market, you'll find, Nile crocodile briefcases and rock python wallets and black cobra belts, lots of reptiles. Excuse me. And in the Marabagayoro, the traditional medicine market, you'll find, everything. In fact, between the two markets, I had, was it nearly 500 species of vertebrate fauna. That's critters with backbones. Okay, that I identified, cataloged, inventoried, outlined all the various uses of, And that's all my master's in doctoral research. So you can consider me a critter nut. I've also worked extensively in looking at natural resource use in prehistory. All right, I used to work as a state archaeologist here in Oregon for the Museum of Natural and Cultural History at the University of Oregon at their research division. And one of the things that I specialized in was digging through ancient trash pits. Right? Trash tells you a lot about what people use. So I would go and pick through these ancient trash pits to develop an assemblage of what people were using at particular times. So yeah, I take a really broad perspective from prehistory all the way up to today and even into the future. So yeah, that kind of gives you a bit of an insight about who I am, what I do, and might give you some insights into why I'm a little strange and off kilter. So if you have any interest in my own personal research, don't hesitate to ask. Always happy to share. And yeah, really looking forward to serving you as your instructor for this course. Thanks. You all have a good one now. Bye.